lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers, and all the sojourners of truth, the 144, chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are. I greet you in the love, love, love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth in this divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from nowhere other than always and forever in the fifth dimension, 5D, in the place to be where the earth is being in its existence. Whether you are here or not, this is where we are. So it is imperative that we take instructions, that we get into the receptive energy, the six, receptive completion in the 369, right? So from creative completion in the three through receptive completion in the six into spiritual completion in the nine and beginning again at the one, right? So happy root chakra day, as this is that day, 3 days before the full moon. The countdown is on. This is the first day of the workshop for those of you who will be joining in the workshop. So before I begin, let me go ahead. Peace, love, and light. Is that Diamond? Peace and blessing, Diamond. Divine rising. You know, I don't usually do the risings. It's usually in the evening or the night, but this is an important reminder call to those who are signing up for the workshop, right? And so let me get some housekeeping, house sweeping out of the way before I get into speaking about this upcoming full moon lunar eclipse that is coming with a powerful punch and a precursor to the cosmic shift that is to come, because the countdown is on for those outer planets that are shifting. And this is helping us to shift into that cosmic shift as well. Right? So before I get into that, let me say this. For those who have emailed me, please check your email. And I'm asking that you respond back so that I can send you the coordinates. The meeting, the first meeting is tonight. If you don't get in tonight, if you don't get this till later, no worries. You can still get in where you fit in. It's divine timing for everyone. The intention is there and your spirit will already be there. Ashe. So check your email. If you have emailed me before and I have not gotten back to you, please email me again. Please resend it, because I'm definitely going through the emails the past 2 days. And some of them may be further down that I can't access right now. So to help me out, to help us out in this process as we're transiting through, especially if this is something you feel is definitely for you, email me again, resend it if you've already sent one. So don't sit down and say, well, I already sent one. I'm asking all who have said yes to this workshop and the detox to detach workshop as well, to email me again. And then I will send that to you. I will send you the coordinates and meaning the Zoom link, for where it is that we will be meeting tonight. We start on the root chakra. We'll do a little bit of the earth chakra, including as well, because the earth chakra is, beneath us and it's before the root. So I usually include that with the root chakra, as well as by the time we get to the crown on the seventh day, I also include the soul star chakra, because it is above us outside of the crown. And these 9 chakras are very important, just as the 9 planets. 9 energy centers align with these 9 planets, although we are mainly working with 7, right? Plus the 2 luminaries as the sun and the moon is. So with that said, this is a time for us to really take accountability and responsibility for how we show up in this proactive work, soul work, right? And it works if you work it. So do not just idly sit by and think that because the full moon is coming, you're just going to get this magical moon dust all over you and you're just going to get all the blessings of the full moon. It's going to bring truths and revelations, which means it's going to liberate. It's here to free and liberate us, but it will piss you off first. It is bringing up a lot. Some of you may already be feeling it. It gets more intense the closer it gets to the moon. It's most potent 3 days before and 3 days after. Hence why I do the 7-day workshop within this window of the full moon, 3 days before and 3 days after, with the full moon being right in the middle on the heart chakra, right? We start from the root going all the way up to the crown. We're transcending all fears. This is about removing all fear based thoughts and feelings, remembering there are only two feelings, they're either fear or love based. All other subdivisional feelings fall under fear and love. So if it's not with love, please know that it is fear. You don't have to be afraid, technically afraid of something to be in fear. This is also a misconcept that a lot of people lose, and this is why they don't understand where their fears are coming from. If you are in anger, if you are in depression, if you are in any type of anxiety, frustration, annoyance, all of these are fear-based thoughts and feelings that come out of the mind state of lack. And we are to transmute this into love-based feelings that come into the mind state of abundance. This is the fifth dimension. This is the love frequency. The love frequency is abundance. Ashe? So this full moon is really highlighting, catapulting us, bringing us into this next level, preparing us for the next major cosmic shift, meaning the next two outer planets. I want to say three outer planets, but we're really watching the two that are in Pisces right now, being Saturn and Neptune. Neptune being the greater shift of them all, because Saturn moves every 2 years. We will see Saturn cycle around into Pisces again in this lifetime. We will not see Neptune cycle through Pisces again in this lifetime. This is very imperative that we understand this shift. It's not going to pass through here again for another 200 and something years. None of us will be here. Unless, let me not say that, unless we are really transitioning, quantum leaping, and we're able to expand physical life span beyond this because of how we're transitioning through the fifth dimension, into the fifth dimension through our dimensional timelines. So unless that is really happening, most people will not see this shift again. So this is an important cosmic shift as Neptune is leaving Pisces and entering into an entire new 12 house cycle beginning in Aries, aka Asar, for those of you who have the 5D calendar, right? And then other major planet, we already have Pluto that has changed and ushered us into the Aquarian age by entering into Aquarius. That was a major, major shift. And we won't see that again in this lifetime, right? So the next one is Uranus, is another outer planet that we are to be looking at. And Uranus also is shifting out of Taurus into Gemini. So all the years that it has spent in the last couple of years helping us to have radical change, Oya energy, radical change in the earth, in our perspectives, in the materials, and the way we see materials in this earth. That is what Uranus has been shifting for us. That's why last year there was a major shift with the Uranus and Mars conjunction. For those who were inclined to that, and for those of us who aligned as star seeds and met up through the halls of Amenti in August, from that line, that streamline from the conjunct between Uranus and Mars. And the real shakedown happened around May. Somewhere in May, there was a major, let's say, earthquake shift, right? Even in the earth, to an earthly level. Peace, love, and light, C. Marie. Welcome. Greetings to the celestial earth. From the heavens onto the earth, from the divine into the earth. That is what we are doing. We're bringing the heavens, we're bringing the celestials into our earthly existence, from the spiritual into the physical, and finding that healthy balance. And this is the shift that we are partaking in right now. So this workshop that starts today, which is why I'm doing this early morning call, to give some of you some time who does get this message, who this comes across to, that you have time to email me, divineenergystudio@gmail.com, and be able to send me your coordinates so I can send you the coordinates that we can meet up and you can be a part of this divine cosmic shift. So we are getting divinely guided through this, so we can navigate and maneuver through these energetic waves. Every time a moon comes up, a full moon is always an opportunity to transmute some things, to surf the energetic waves, because it brings up the waves of emotions, just like it brings up the tides in the water. It brings up your emotions, which is the water inside of you, right? And it helps us to release the looshing that has been happening. For those who are aware of loosh, if you haven't, look at the video that I have done on loosh, where I am explaining it and breaking it down. There may be some other videos out there, but get an understanding of the loosh, because people are looshing. We smell it, we see it, we feel it. That energy is excreting from the body, from our physical bodies and the body of this earth. And it is out there and it is running rampant. And if we don't get a hold of these shadows, it will grab a hold of you. And we won't be able to transition and transform and have a true transformation into our next timeline. We are only held back by our level of resistance. The two things that we're to work on is resistance and unhealed wounds. And those go hand in hand, because your unhealed wounds shows your level of resistance. And that resistance is the resistance within your conduit. You are a conduit of light. You are a conduit. You are a wire of light, information, and energy. We are the connectors from the celestial to the earth. Walk around barefoot if you get a chance to. We are electromagnetic beings, and we are on this electromagnetic earth. So if you get a chance to, connect to the earth, share the information, allow the light energy and information to flow through you into the earth, grounding that information into the earth so that you are grounded with the cosmic winds that are lifting, the turbulence that will blow us all around. So we must stay grounded, especially if you are very spiritual. Be careful to not be so spiritually gone that you are lifted from the physical existence of this earth, because it is a balance. We are here to have a physical experience because we are bringing the spiritual existence into the physical existence, and that is the balance. That is the five. Speaking of five, and there are five, see, and I just saw five at the top. The five that are here, speaking of five, you here are confirming this. Five is the number, the numerological number of this full moon in Virgo. It is at 23 degrees. The 2 and the 3 reduces to 5. So the cosmic number here that's being highlighted is 5. And 5 is physical and spiritual balance, which causes change. When we have that harmony and that balance, we change, right? My interest to join your workshop, I'll send the email. Yes, C. Marie, send it on in. See, I know that there are some of you who are here who are ready for that change, who've been feeling it coming up against you. We've been feeling the turbulence in the energies, and it's for an important time. It is to release. We are in a karmic cycle. There is a stellium that has been happening throughout Pisces, and the stellium is still there. A stellium is when you have about 3 or more planets within a sign. These are not just planets floating around in outer space. We really need to understand, overstand, and understand that these are the cosmos in me and the cosmos in you. This is the intrinsic design cosmically set for us that has been here preset before us. So it is for us to come into alignment as our ancient ancestors have done with the cosmos through cosmos and time. And it is for us to return to those origins of time. When I say origins of time, I'm not looking for the beginning of when mankind came about. I'm talking about the origins of time existence as it has always existed in the cosmos before Earth has even come into being. And we are to return to respecting the cosmos in time. The origins of time is respecting the newt. We are under the newt and within the newt. So it is for us to return to that. And all of these cosmos, cosmic alignments are bringing us into that design. This is not just about astrology. So don't think of just studying astrology. Although it is helpful when you study astrology or astronomy or both, because they are both cosmology or newtology. It has only been separated and broken down through men to cause confusion, but they are both the study of the cosmos, of the stars. It is our interstellar perspective that guides us through our earthly perspective, through the solar perspective, because the solar is our server. It is our sun, our information that sends all information through time space reality into our time space reality. So this moon is bringing so much that it is packing for us to do. Peace and greetings. I sent my email, Ashe. I would definitely go in and make sure and check. I'm checking all after this video by midday today. I'm checking all of the email and I will be sending you the coordinates for meeting up. And don't beat up on yourself if you miss the first night or night. As I always say, whatever night you get, that is for you. It is more potent when you can get all 7, but whatever is for you is for you. Ashe. And so the full moon, if I can explain, let me give a little bit of that for those who may not even make it. Let me give you what I can give you about the full moon, because this is really shifting a lot of us into another timeline. And for those of us who have been carrying the weight, it's time to let it go and release. There are things that I can tell you even personally within me as I've been here doing the ancestral work and preparing for the retreat and ancestral workshop for those of you who will be coming back to that first workshop retreat here in Jamaica. I am preparing the way for that, but it has not come without bumps and bruises. Paving the way is not easy. Being a pioneer is not easy, but it can be simple if you do what must needs be done. And so as I say that, what I ask of us to understand is after we pass through this, this is a time to, when you release, to let go and not look back in certain ways. This is like Lot leaving Sodom and Gomorrah. We are being instructed to move forward and do not look back, lest you turn into a pillar of salt, which only means that you will become crystallized in your malfunction behaviors, thoughts, and feelings. This is what we have to understand about that story. Metaphysically, that is what it represents. It's not about literally turning into a pillar of salt, but metaphysically, you will become crystallized in those old paradigms, in the old earth, in the shadows of 3D that are falling away, and only who can know it will grow it and grow into it. So this is a very, very pivotal time with the celestials as they are guiding us in and through, especially with the nodes. This is an important part that I have to share with you, that the nodes are the major part of any eclipse, not just this eclipse. All eclipses are in an attunement and in alignment with where the current nodes are. Not your natal north node and south node, but the current north node and south node, which is currently in Pisces north node and Virgo south node. So this lunar moon, which is in Virgo, is working tightly with our south node. Lunar total eclipse, which is a major one. Last year's total eclipse was a solar total eclipse, and some of us have been feeling the impact from that all year around. Usually you will feel it for 6 months, and after, in the next 6 months, it will be reflective of what has opened up for you through that eclipse. So these ecliptic energies, we are now in a new ecliptic window, right? These 18 months since January and 18 months thereafter, we are in a different ecliptic season. And every eclipse within these 18 months will be connected to the north node and south node where it currently is and what that is saying to us. And I'll do another video going deeper into what the north node and south node is saying to us, but I'll give you what I can now as it regards to the full moon. Because right now I want to highlight what the full moon is helping us with through this nodal axis. And so the south node is highlighting to us it's about the past and where we come from in the past and what needs to be extracted and corrected from the past in order for us to move forward into the North Node trajectory that trajects us forward with what we are here to do in this lifetime and for previous lifetimes ahead. But we have to make the corrections from the South Node, from what the South Node is highlighting. So this is a beautiful moment. This is ideal that we are starting with the full moon lunar eclipse where the South Node is right now. And it's helping us to extract the misconstruct, the misconcepts, the misappropriations, and the malfunctions from our old ways of service, because Virgo is about service, of meticulousness. What have we chosen to be picky and meticulous about? And removing that out of the way because it blocks the bigger picture. North Node in Pisces, the expanded Newt version, the expanded spiritual house. It will block that while you are busy focusing on minute details. Not that details aren't important, but right now we need to look at what minute details are eclipsing and blocking us from the expanded view of our spiritual capacity that we are entering into. So it is important that we utilize this full moon energy in every way possible with all the celestial bodies at hand. Looking at where Pluto has already ushered us into the Aquarian age and is still giving us revelation, the death to rebirth, divine revelation. Because in order to have a rebirth, there has to be a death. This is why I said in order for there to be enlightenment, there has to be destruction. We have to destroy what we once thought we knew and the things that we choose to hold on to in society that does not serve us right now and in our future. The old things of the past that we call tradition, that we call culture, does not serve us anymore in the fifth dimension. So it will hold you back and keep you behind as the light turns up, because the light is not slowing down. Everything that I am telling you is to help you to transit through and to be able to infuse with the light grid so that you don't get fried on the light grid. Fried. But it is all choice. And when we become in tuned and attuned to these energies and these frequencies, it helps us to transition into the next timeline. It helps us to enter into the new age, the Aquarian age that is already here. It helps us to fall in alignment with our assignment, with our divine assignment. We all came here with a spiritual assignment. It's just that we have forgotten. We have gotten lost in the sea of forgetfulness with the fears that run rampant on this earth, within the shadows of this earth. And this is why we have to release the shadows. This blood moon is is because the earth is in a shadow. That is why you will see that the moon will be red, because the earth is blocking the light from the sun that has cast a reflection on the moon for the light to give us the cosmic light that we need. So we have to look at the shadows in our earth, which means we have to look at the shadows in our body, in our life, world, and affairs. When I say body, I'm not just talking about your physical skin suit. The body equals your life, world, and affairs. The body of this earth is also the life, the affairs, and the life, world, and affairs within this earth. Global affairs, that is the body. Family affairs, that is the body. Relational affairs, that is the body. Everything that we think of in this physical realm is the body. All manifestation thereof is the body. And we are here right now to extract the old dying earth of the body in order to catapult us into the new earth, the true earth, and have you exist in the true timeline within 5D. Because there is a ideal time reality, there is a real time reality for those who think they're true. You're not true, you're just real. And you're realer than the ideal. And then there is a true time reality. And this is something that I will also explain in another video. 2 videos that I know I have for you coming up. Look out for the video on the nodes and on the 3 levels of existence within our time-space realities. Ashe. Grandest of risings. Peace and welcome. Right? The north node is at, you say Aquarius at 20 degrees. Okay, check again, because the north node is currently in January. The nodes just shifted in from Aries into Pisces. And remember, the nodes go the opposite direction. So it just came out of Aries, 0 degrees, and then it went into Pisces of 29 degrees, 28 degrees, 27 degrees. I have to double check right now. I know it's in the 20s. It's somewhere very closely in orbit between Saturn and Neptune, because Neptune is at the end. Neptune is at 28 or 20. It should be at 29 degrees right about now. Neptune is at its end, and it's about to take its first step into Aries. And that's going to be a dangerous shift for a lot of people who have not gotten rid of their illusions. This brings me to my point of what I'm saying, why this lunar eclipse is really important with this full moon. This is not a regular full moon transmutation. This is full moon on steroids to the 10th degree times 10. This is 144, 12 times 12, completion times completion. This is very deep soul work. So if you haven't gotten to do anything since 2020, this is definitely an opportunity that you definitely want to take to become a part of the spiritual awakening, the great awakening that took place in 2020 that has flown over a lot of people's heads that are still holding on to the old earth that is dead. This is why I said we are in hospice care. Those who are truly in 5D, we got to understand this hospice care, right? What a time to be alive. Ashe, ashe. It is. It is exciting. It is like an exciting roller coaster ride that you want to throw up on when you get off. It's not always the best feeling, but wee! You could put your hands in the air and wee on the double loop, right? Because it is definitely a roller coaster ride. It's high energetic, high cosmic shifts. So this moon right now, if we take it and utilize it right, which is what we will be doing in this workshop particularly, and the workshop right behind this is going to be the Detox to Detach workshop. That is going to help us now detach. But first things first is we need to face our fears. And this is why I'm being shown why the Detox to Detach got put off, because I thought I was going to do it before, but Spirit has it another way, that no, this workshop needs to be done first so that we can identify and face the fear factors that are still there and what's happening in our lower chakras with fear, guilt, and shame. All 3 major blocks of those lower chakras, and grief in the heart. Grief and unforgiveness. These are all things that we got to work up. It's no longer a secret. If you think it's a secret, you're lying to yourself, because this is 5D. And in 5D, there are no secrets. Secret is an illusion. So if you think because you're not telling somebody something that they don't know, it's a lie onto yourself, and it's a lie onto them. And they just don't know it, and you don't know it. But the information is all around. In the atmosphere, in 5D. It's everywhere, and people are picking up on it, whether they know it or not, whether they consciously can see it or not. So it's for those of us to be intentional with this information, purposeful with this information, because ignorance is no excuse. So don't think because you don't know or you choose not to be active in your soul work that you get away, because you don't. But to whom much is given, much is required. So for those of us who are stepping into it intentionally, we have to have accountability. Ashe? So with this full moon, as I continue to explain, right, there are the nodes. It is very important that we extract what we need to extract, specifically in our south node. In this workshop, we will really be focusing on what is coming up for us with our south node in Virgo. And again, it's not about your natal, it is about the collective nodes where they are and what it's helping us to transition into. The more you extract out of the south node, is the more advancement you have in the north node and where the north node is carrying us, which is in that spiritual house, expanding our spiritual capacity, our spiritual responsibility by holding physical accountability. And accountability means you being accountable within yourself. It's not what you owe anybody else out there. We have to stop looking out over our shoulder for somebody to catch us. It's not about nobody's policing you. There's no spiritual police, but Saturn is. Or we got a spiritual police. The Lord of Karma, Saturn is shutting it down. And for those of you who not sure what I'm talking about, just look around you. Look at what has been happening since March of 2023. Look at what happened last year with all the exposure, all the ditties, all the celebrities, all of that you see going on. That's Saturn, baby. That's the spiritual police. Look at all what's happening in the religious communities. All those so-called pastors and things that y'all finding out. A lot of people getting their religious feelings hurt. But don't be hurt. Don't stay there. Just know that it's happening to break the illusion. That's what the Saturn spiritual police is doing. It's knocking down the door. Whoop, whoop, whoop. This is not real. This is not real. Show me your spiritual credential. Show me your spiritual ID. And that spiritual ID is the work that you are doing in your existence, in your spiritual work. That's the ID. Show thyself approved. So don't think that it's a physical identification. I don't care if you're a pastor. I don't care if you're a spiritual guru or whatever it is you want to. I don't care what your title is. The universe does not care what your title is. The divine does not care what your title is. Again, that is a misconcept and a misfunction and a dysfunction of the solar plexus. This is why people are holding on to their identifications. Universe doesn't care about that. Your spiritual credentials is the works that you have done, the accountability, the deeds that you have shown. Show thyself approved according to the divine. That's your spiritual credential. Ashe. Right? And I know, yep, you've been seeing gratitude. You're welcome. I'm bringing all the clarity I could bring. It's the spirit is saying, hey, you got to get up and give an early one. And I had to give an early one. So if you get this, if this is for you, do not pass it by. It's not hard. Send the email. Don't let money block you either. Even if you see the flyer, yes, I have, because I'm being told to do what I need to do. And this is about reciprocity. In my individual work, I have to work on putting a price on things, especially for those who are still in the physical realm and they only understand price. They only understand money. They don't understand energetic reciprocity. So if you happen to see the flyer, don't let the money stop you either. That is for those who can do it. This is what it's for. If you can't, still show up, because your reciprocity is the energy you give. I will get my spiritual blessings because I do what spirit shows me to do. So I'm saying this because I know that people will do that. They will look at it and say, oh, I don't have enough. Or now is not the time because I got this to do. I got that to do. This is a once in this lifetime, precursor to the shift. That once in a lifetime shift that is happening with Neptune shifting out. This is that once in a lifetime opportunity. So it is the truth that you choose to behold. And do not let excuses hold you back. For those who have been doing that, release that. Ask yourself, what is it to be? What is it that I am here to do? And if this is something that is available to me, it's just a matter of saying yes to the universe. When you say yes to the universe says yes to you. So show up for you. It's not for me. I'm doing my part. You got to do your part. And there's the other workshop behind this, and we'll have a solar plexus one, which will be like a little bonus 3-day one after that. This is the energetic lineup that I have, what I can facilitate for those who are in alignment. with their cosmic assignment. I'm talking to my star seeds. Those of you who are in the star seed pod, especially if you came in the same star seed pod as me, my Styrian star seeds, my Lyran star seeds. Yeah, I'm speaking galactic now. This is also the galactic news, if you choose to infuse with that light grid. My Arcturian star seeds, Pleiadian star, whatever star seeds you are, because we all come from that cosmic stardust, and it's time to align with our interstellar cosmic stardust. Stop playing out here in these spiritual streets. This is not our first time around on this planet and on this plane, and it's not going to be the last for some of us. For some of us. If you don't get out of your 3D soul, you may not be able to return to this inhabited world. That's between you and your soul unfoldment journey. For me, it is about advancing to the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th dimensional level soul being. I'm talking about your holistic soul existence that holds the codes for your multiple spiritual, as you exist in spirit as a multidimensional being. For those who know it, you know it. I can't help those who are not willing to help themselves. And I'm going to say this to you as well. Be ready to detach from helping others. I don't care who they are. They could be your parents. They could be your children. They could be your spouse. It is time to detach. And it doesn't necessarily mean physically leaving them. You have to understand, to overstand, and understand what I'm saying. It is time to detach. This is high crown chakra activity. Detach from the personality existence so that you can be totally connected in total consciousness with everything in this earth and outside of it. That is total connectivity. So this is not just about the physical existence. Get out of your flesh. This is spirit over flesh. We're not in a position right now to be lazy souls, to be lazy physical beings that want to hold on to the flesh. What I have to tell others is it's about spiritual discipline. And I have to practice it too. It's not about what you want to do in your flesh. It is about what must needs to be done in the spirit, regardless of the comforts and the convenience of your flesh. This is a time to detach from your flesh and the energy that your flesh has been carrying, not just for you, but collectively from the old age of the ram. The shadows from the age of the ram and the shadows from the Piscean age, which we are no longer in. The age of the ram was 4,000 years ago. The Piscean age was 2,000 years ago. We have just entered into the Aquarian age. It is time to let go of those shadows that we are collectively walking in, those imprints on this earth. So even as an individual, we're still walking in the soot of the collective consciousness of this earth. You are not alone. We are not alone. This is a 9-year right now. As I'm looking at 9 that just turned to 10. I can't make this stuff up. Both the 3D and the 5D are in a 9 universal year. 9 is completion, spiritual completion. You enter this earth through a 9. You leave this earth through a 9. I know that goes over a lot of people's head because they don't understand that. You see the 9 months of a birth, but you don't see the 9 months of a death. That too is a transition. And after the 9, this is the infinite existence of 9. And after the 9 is a 10, which is really a 1. So back to the beginning. This is an infinite cycle, 1 through 9 and back to 10. 1 through 9 and 10 is back to 1 again. Let me say that again. 1 through 9 and 10 is back to 1 again. So 1 is the beginning. There is such a new beginning that we are walking into if you look at the numbers of it. Because the 5D is closing out our 9 universal year of 2016. And when spring comes, we enter into our next year of 2017 according to the Mayan and the Ethiopian calendar. This is the truth origin of time existence of where we come from. We are returning to our true existence. So when we go into 2017, it is going to be entering into a universal year of 10, which is 1. So there is a beginning, a resounding beginning. If you can hear the gong, bong, there's a gong for the closing. There's a closing happening right now as we close out Pisces, bong. There's a closing for the year, bong. There's a closing for your past life transgressions, bong. And then there's another gong that is happening for the beginning. There is a beginning of the new year. Bong, that's the spring equinox, the true new year. There's a beginning of Aries, the beginning of the next 12 spiritual houses. Bong. And there's a beginning for your new timeline existence as you let go of the old past lives. Bong. All of that is happening. And guess who's moving with that? Neptune. Neptune is moving out with all of those closings that I've just mentioned and into the new beginning. This is the snake, the head of the snake eating the tail. This is the meaning of that. All right? Ashe, Ashe, welcome soul. I see you. We're welcome. I'm glad I can be able to reiterate that for you. Oh, you finally caught the live? Welcome, welcome. Letting go is the new live and the new vibe. And if you're just tuning in and you don't get to watch it back again, let me remind you, the workshop starts today. So the work that we're going to be doing collectively for those who choose to sign up is going to be starting tonight. The 7-day workshop, working tightly with the celestials and utilizing this full moon lunar eclipse to transmute all fear-based thoughts into love frequency, into the 5D, the unity frequency. So this is the end and the beginning. There cannot be a beginning without an end. So we have to allow the destruction to happen. We have to destroy old concepts, and this is what we're doing with this lunar moon. Right? So the Neptune is closing out. Saturn is closing out. Let the Saturn police do what it do. Every time you feel convicted or you feel rebuked, like instead of blaming others, I want you to just do this. Just take a deep breath. The breath is the bridge of life. Take a deep breath and cross that bridge from the physical into the spiritual. Get your sa, your breath of life in you. Re-spirit, as we are also closing out the re-spiriting season. Take a deep breath and return to spirit. Re-spirit in your respiratory system. Breathe. And when you breathe, ask yourself, what is it to thee? And ask yourself, while you're looking at whatever situation is happening on the outside, ask yourself, what is it that I am responsible for? What is it that I can hold true accountability for, that I can do differently for my soul advancement? Because it's not about them. It is, but it isn't. Only in the truth that we are collectively connected and we are all as one. But the work that must be done is within you individually. We are only responsible for our soul selves to a very cellular level. As I say, soul self. We are all cells on this earth, on this body that is also a cell. So it's for us to do our cell job. Your cells are very intelligent, high vibrational. This is all part of the work that we're doing. So in this workshop, we'll be working not only with the celestials, but our energy centers, hence why we are starting on our route today. And so if you don't get them emailed to me in time and you don't get the response in time, let me say this, do some grounding today. Work with your root and your earth chakra together, because your earth chakra tethers you into the awareness of your divinity in the earth. And your earth chakra is your portal to your many lifetime existence in this earth, as well as your bloodline in this earth. Every bit of your existence in this earth, you can get through the portal of your earth chakra. that also tethers you to your divinity. It holds the information ready to give to you at the divine appointed time when you are ready, because the divine does not impose. So we have to first open our compartments, open our energy centers. We have to open them in order to be receptive to them. So old concepts will block you. You have to release yourself from any prejudgments that you may have had, that you may have been raised with. I don't care if they told you it's right. Re-look at it, because what may be right for them is not right for truth in the divinity of this earth. It is beyond their comprehension. And they only taught us what they thought they knew, but it's time to break those illusions and break through. That's what we're doing. We're utilizing Neptune to break illusions, because the shadows of Neptune is illusion and confusion and the distribution thereof. And you will think you're going into something new, but you are not. You are carrying your dysfunctions with you. Ashe? So ground wherever you can ground. Thank you. Said I'm grounded and I'm listening to the live. That's the way to go. Ground right now. If I was standing on the earth, I'd be barefoot right now talking to you. But I'm grounded in the ambiance of it with you, sharing that earth magic with you. So get into that earth magic. Ground as much as you can. Remember, we come from the womb of the universe, through the womb of this earth, and into the womb of our soul. There's 3 parts to everything. There's so much more for us to grow and know and show. And we want to continue this path. For those who will be joining the Starseed Connection or joining the community, there's much more that we will be doing within this community. For some of you, this may be a one-time pass through the workshop. Maybe that's all you needed. You came to get what you needed, to get what was seeded in the earth. Ashe. So I'm happy to share this with you. I'm happy to share whatever information, as the sun is, y'all see the sun beaming on my third eye. So as the sun is literally, it's almost like I'm just transcripting. I'm just transitioning or transcripting the information to you, because the sun gives us that information. Sit in the sun. Y'all don't put on no sunblock. Don't block your light codes. Do not bleach your skin, because you're removing the melanated activation. Your melanin is what translates the sun codes for you. That's a whole nother conversation. We'll get that. We'll do another video on the melanin activation. But get in the sun. Ground your earth. Put your electromagnetic feet to the electromagnetic earth, and allow that electricity, which is the feminine energy, to be magnified in your creativity, which is the masculine energy. This is the balance that we're having. I can't say it no other way, but I can. But we'll be here forever. Forever, ever. Ashe, ashe. So with that, I share with you as much as I can about the moon work and what needs to be done in transmuting. One more thing I could tell you. If you're going through this turbulence, 3 things that I've always been saying since 2022 on our independence, our 5D Independence Day on 2/2/2022 is 3 things that you can do. 1, fast in any way possible, whether from foods or not and foods and any old behaviors, any old conduct, anything that just no longer serves you. Fast from social media. And when I say social media, I don't mean from people like myself, you could fast from me too. Do what you got to do. But I don't mean from people who are sharing the light codes and the information. I mean fast from scrolling. I call it doom scrolling. Fast from just picking up the phone first thing in the morning and scrolling, because that takes up time in your mind. It is stealing your time and stealing your mind. Fast from having certain conversations with certain people. Fast from the news. Fast from gossiping. Fast from stepping into places that you have no business stepping into. Fast from thinking that you got to take care of every damn body in your family and all it. Fast from that. Let them fend for themselves. This is what we have to move into. You got to do for you. And there's only so much you could do. And if they're not in alignment and respecting the assignment, then you have to move on. You have to move forward and release yourself from that guilt in your sacral chakra. There's no guilt to be having there. You're not obligated to your coworkers, aka family members in life. So before I go any further, let me digress. Let me get back to the three things. Fast from any foods or any other behaviors. Secondly, remove yourself from any low vibrational person, places, or things, especially right now. I'm not saying you got to do it forever, but right now, while we're doing, especially for those of you who will be in the workshop, when you're doing spiritual work, it is important to sacredize your space, if that's a word. It is important to keep your space sacred. And when you go amongst others in certain places of low vibration, it is an imposition and an intrusion into your sacredness. Keep it sacred. And not only that, it helps you to see what's really going on around you. So remove yourself, and it prevents you from being tainted by those lower vibrational energies. So if you know that they're lower vibrational, please stay away. I don't care how much people may want to say, oh, you think you better than. Yep. I don't think, I know. I'm better than. I cannot be around you. I cannot be in this place and in this space. It is deteriorating my sacred energy. Know this and protect it. That's the second thing. The third thing is raise your vibrations to the 10th degree, whatever that is for you. If it's exercising, if it's taking a spiritual bath, if it's working with your crystals, your cards, whatever it is that you do that is amplifying your high vibrations. If it's gardening, please feel free to garden. Get in the earth. That's one of the highest vibrational things you can do, is to get in the earth if you don't know what else to do. Or exercise. If you don't know anything about other spiritual things, very basically so, you can do something in the earth. Clean your garden, pick a spot in your house. If you don't have a yard, get some potted plants, or go to a place that has a garden, offer to do your neighbor's yard, something, but get grounded. Exercise, do some type of movement in your body, whether it's Pilates, yoga, whatever it is you got to do. Movement is good for the lower chakras as well. Ashe? Fast from not seeing yourself, maximizing being you. Ooh, I like that. Because that takes you out of your ego, of the misappropriated ego. So if you can do that, yes, please do that. I'm going to take a page out of that. Fast from not being yourself, maximize being you. Fast from not being yourself, maximize being you. Yes, maximize yourself. But fast from not being yourself the way you have. Correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but this is how I'm receiving it. It hit me in that way. Fast from not being yourself, which is maximizing being you, egoically so. Because some of us are so busy maximizing what we think it should be and what we think should do, even with righteous indignation. So know that of myself, I am absolutely nothing, which means I am connected to no particular thing. Detach. Maximize that, because we tend, or let me say minimize that, because we tend to maximize this overexerted self that we want to say is right, and we use excuses and we use our physical existence to say, well, I think this is right. Well, how about you just look in the mirror and say, I think not? How about you look in the mirror and say, the wisest man knows he knows nothing at all. So sit your ego down, because you don't know. In the flesh, what you're trying to do in the flesh, you don't know. So sit down and humbleize your ego and go to the guidance of spirit, without bringing along and tagging along your fleshly input into spirit, because we make mistakes to do that too, and then we want to call it spirit. Don't pervert the ways. Do not pervert spirit. This is not the time to be playing around with spirit and perverting spirit. You're only blocking yourself from your soul ascension and your forward movement. So ashe to that. Thank you for the confirmation. So I was correct in my understanding, overstanding, and understanding of that concept. Ashe. That's all that I could give you. I mean, there's more. I'll do another video. I wanted to at least get this out, and not but, and I wanted to at least get this out for those who have ears to hear, and to grab those who are maybe in a far distance. So share this if you can, like and share, so that it can expand the algorithm of this message to get to who it needs to get to, for those in the remote places that are sitting there going, what do I do next? Here it is. And it's being offered to you. So now it's if you take the offering. So with that said, as I close out, I'm going to remind you, if you've sent me an email, please send it again today, fresh, so that I can send you the coordinates of this workshop ASAP today. I've already sent out, for those who have already been in the groups before, this is an interactive workshop. So we have a WhatsApp group where I send all the information, the meditations for each chakra daily. So I already sent out the ones for today. So for those of you that I will be adding, when you send the email, please also send, to make this quick, please send your phone number as well, so that I can add you to the group, and I can also send you the information for today, so you'll be all caught up for today. And then I will send it every day. I put something in that WhatsApp group. So this is all the information I can give you about joining this particular workshop that starts today. Happy Root Chakra Day today, and Earth Chakra. Ashe. Yes, and it does raises the frequency when you can do what we just spoke about, of not maximizing yourself, removing your ego out of the way. Ashe. So let's get in. This lunar eclipse is waiting, y'all, and it ain't got all day, and it's coming with potent energy. So let's get into these shadows, get into this work. And remember, it works if you work it. Accountability in your spirit. And so it is. With that said, each one reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out, like the light is doing. And be the candle that lights the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Let your fire ignite and the flames light. Peace, love, and light.